way to keep you playing. Like, to encourage you to try different classes and continue cycling through the game.
I don't like it because it takes a lot of what makes the classes unique out of the game.
I really don't see that.
You know, along with their underwhelming class skills. Given
the minuscule amount of increase to anything that the badass rank actually has.
So if you've played a class to max level, and you keep playing it with your friends for a while, and say you picked this up day one,
sure.
And then the Psycho comes out, and you decide you want to play the Psycho, because last fucking class released, like, what was it, like 8 months after it came out?
I don't remember.
So you'll have a shit ton of tokens. So now this character shoots things in the face and they explode. So his entire melee purpose is null and void because of the fact that you've played the game too much.
Not really. It all just circulates around how you personally feel like playing the character. I mean, there's nothing that dictates what you have to do, and if his particular tree invests more energy in melee, I mean, the badass ranks gave you 1 of 5, and a lot of times I feel like the game would look at what you already had, like, stacked, and specifically not hand you options if you already had too much in that particular stat. Also, I believe that in certain patches of the PC version, shit can glitch out if you had too much of a single, like if one of your badass ranks got significantly higher than another. So, that's poor programming in itself. I mean, nothing forced you to play that way, even if it was more or less optimal. I feel like there were ways to make something else more optimal just based on skill trees, and it was all about how you wanted to play and have fun. And if something was better, but you could get away with doing something else, then you found that more fun, then why wouldn't you?
Screaming for his life, it will be 2:30.
Yeah, but you can do that in the first one too. But in this one, it makes less of a difference.
See you again at 2:35.
The trees aren't as refined. They do much less.
The other thing that I feel like they wanted to do with that was they wanted to give people more play the siren, sure, but don't get locked into the stealth tree, you know? Don't get locked into having to, like, the abilities I feel like are actually more liberating, like,
now you be careful, honey.
The ways you could go about it. Gauges were all really different. The fucking anarchy tree is insane. I don't even understand how half of that thing works most of the time. There's the BFF tree that just makes Death Trap a walking machination of murder. You know, there's a bunch of different ways that Axton can play with his turrets and his end goal. Like, I've got the deploying of a turret, sets off a small nuclear blast. These are just end skills that I'm looking at. Adding a second gun to the turret and firing slag bullets. And deploying 2 separate turrets. You know, they're... I don't know.
Yeah, but by the time you reach those, you're generally at least a playthrough and a half in.
I got all the way there in less than a playthrough.
But I'm not talking about the skill trees, because, yeah, those are fluid and give you a lot of options. They did in the first one, too. You weren't locked into any particular tree. But what I'm saying is the overall the lack of having the weapon specializations that you did in the first one and replacing them with generic badass ranks. The essential weakening of the generic class skills.
Got some health here.
You know, across the board, and having them be less original, like Zero's is phase walk, essentially. Just without, you know, the elemental effect. You've got the turret, which was the same shit you had in the...
Fine by me on Zero's phase walk, just because I felt like the Siren shouldn't have been the stealth class. Like, I felt like the Hunter wanted to be the stealth class. Or if you had to have somebody who had a stealth ability, you would want the person that specializes in sniper rifles. I never enjoyed the fact that the Siren got saddled with the cloaking. So.
But what I'm saying is these abilities are a lot less powerful, and it makes the classes feel less different and less dynamic. It feels like a lot of the same with, oh, here's a slight minor change. Which is why this intro is so awful to repeatedly play through to play a different class. Because it's all very same shit, different day.
I can appreciate that, because at the start of the game, like, until you hit level 5 and get your, you know, unique... It was too long of a tutorial. Like, you want to be able to introduce players to the game and how the game functions, but the tutorial was, like, at bare minimum 2 hours long. Sorry, the tutorial was 2 hours long if you were playing through it, you know, your first or second time. The tutorial can pretty much be bum rushed in less than 30 minutes if you're speed running the game, but that's something else entirely.
Yeah. But I mean, like, another thing is how many people they had to have expected to have not played anything resembling a shooter before to make this tutorial that long.
Well, and it wasn't just that, it was
games.
the fact that, like, you had to get to Boom Boom before you got grenades, you had to get to, level 5, which is, you know, roughly-ish where we're at before you even unlock your class skill. I mean, everybody is exactly 100% identical until level 5, and that's rubbish. That is complete garbage. You should have gotten your class skill at, like, level 2. It would have made the game more interesting, regardless of how samey or how versatile, you know, you and I think the class skills are. They needed to be unlocked earlier in order to feel the difference in class, instead of sitting through and playing the game for roughly an hour before you even notice a change in your class. Like, why would I want to play the same game that I already played, gimped, for an hour? Like, World of Warcraft? In the first hour, I already realized that my class is different, you know? Like, they've got different specialties. A lot of times you even end up picking a different quest.
And you generally have a different resource as to whether or not, you know, you can use your ability.
Yeah, oh, especially now.
This is the same thing. But the reason why it bothers me so much is, you know, with the first one, you had a 20, maybe 30-minute tutorial, and it worked fine. So you've got a sequel now, so you're gonna have a bunch of people you kept from playing the first game. Yeah, and then you're gonna have, you know, a bunch of people who are like, oh, I'm fans of the genre. There are very few people who need a 2-hour tutorial.
Back up. We'll get him next time.
Yeah.
You know, I played the first game. I felt the tutorial was maybe a little long. Then I played this one, and it's fucking 4 times as long for the same amount of information. Not a good look.
Apparently ammo is scarce for me.
Yeah, me too. I have to keep switching weapons because I've got no bullets.
Well, even my main two, like, I have to add a third and fourth into the rotation because, yeah, ammo.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't think we're gonna finish this quest. I think we've, you know, complained enough about this game and Colonial Marines and the rest of the things that Gearbox shits out pretty regularly at this point. We're already over our 2-hour mark, so this has been a really disappointing Sunday show for us. There wasn't a whole lot to talk about, there wasn't a whole lot to play. This is just kind of, you know, the weekly thing that we do. I'm not going to make any promises, but I am going to let everybody know that I do want to come back next week with, you know, a slightly better show. Maybe games that we haven't played before, or maybe games that are more interesting visually or fun. I keep trying to get on top of this stream shit. Holy fuck, is there a lot of stuff to remember. So, and I did actually put up us as playing Aliens Colonial Marines. I don't know why that didn't tape. So, or maybe you just didn't refresh the stream. I don't know. But, anyways, gonna try and come back next week with a better show and some more shit to talk about. Until that point in time, I remain Nick Latency.
And I'm Mike Psychotic Kelly signing out.
Yep, we'll see you next time.